Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to let everybody hop on, give it a few seconds. Welcome to Canvas Corner. If you see me looking over here, it's because this is where your comments are and things like that. So good morning. You can just let me know that you can hear me and see me just so I know everything's working. Be greatly appreciated. Good morning. Good morning. Just as a quick reminder, as you know in the slides that are provided down below, there should be a link down there. If there's not, let me know, but there should be a link down there. These slides are ongoing. So there is a ton of slides that kind of have this closed eyeball. You can still go through them when you're on it. It just doesn't show when I have it in present mode, but you can still look at everything we've talked about week 1, and then Canvas did 2 weeks. Thanks, Molly. And then week 2 and 3, Canvas put on some really great trainings. Last week we talked pages. So everything is in the same slideshow because I want you to be able to have one place to go to learn like everything Canvas. But I just wanted to share that before we get started, so you're not super confused. I'm going to get this ready. How is everybody this morning? Good. I am tired. It is a tired morning for me. So again, this is Canvas Corner. Bite-sized basics of Canvas. The purpose and goal of these mini sessions is to take little bites and learn about Canvas very little, give you a week to kind of play with that portion, and then come back. You can ask questions. We'll continue learning. So by the end of the 9 weeks, you can either start using Canvas as a 4th quarter, or you can play with it during 4th quarter and then maybe use it with your students next year. So it's just bite-sized basics, very quick. This week, we're talking organization, the key to success, right? How you organize your Canvas and how you organize your classroom are 2 huge keys to success. Just a quick reminder, Canvas did put on 2 weeks of really awesome trainings. I linked them here. Last week, we kind of went over these 2. Lisa put on like a beginner's course navigation, stuff like that. Woody did some stuff on modules. So we talked about those last week. In the future, we will get to more of Lisa's session on assignments and Woody's session on Canvas and Google. But if you're anxious or I go through something too quick, these are linked in the slideshow as well as on the professional learning calendar. So again, last week we talked pages, modules. Everybody good on those? If you were here, if not, all of these, this is the 3rd one, I think. All of these are also on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and rewatch these. So, did anybody have any questions or come across anything within this week or when you were playing with pages or modules or anything along those lines? I know the comments are a little delayed, so cool. If I see one come in, if you see me looking over here, that's where the comments are. So again, this week we're talking organization. And the first thing that I really want to dive into and make very clear is that there is no right way, or every way is the right way to set up your Canvas course. It is really what is best for you, your students, your age group. It doesn't matter if as we go through today, you decide that pages as a homepage is your right way, or modules as a homepage is your right way. I'm going to give pros and cons to both. You'll see pros and cons to both. And really, it's going to be up to you. And honestly, some teachers who are already using Canvas have already switched. So they're always are the right way in terms of what your organization of Canvas and what your class looks like. So the first thing we're going to talk about is pages as a way of organization. And I'm going to use Nancy Simone at Riley's page to kind of show this. And I know that while I click on that, it's going to take me to the course. That won't work for you because you're not in her course. So I'm very sorry about that. But as you can see on the slide, she has a button that links to her Google Meet. She has a button to her attendance form. And then she has her schedule for the week that has links to all the pages to show what goes on each day. So I'm going to jump back over into her Canvas page to show you just a little bit more about using pages as your organization. So again, she has these little tabs up here to get to previous things. But her Google Meet, if I were to click this button, and this is very, very pretty, right? It does not have to look like this. It can be very, very basic, and I will show you what I used to do as a teacher, which is really basic. So Google Meet, if I click that, right, she has it set to take me directly to the Google Meet. Easy for students to get to. Attendance, if I click on this button, it's going to take me to her attendance form. Awesome. Fantastic. Easy for students. As students notice, February 1st, I have a Monday meeting. And then I can click on this link. It's going to take me to, I don't know what, let's see. All right, so it takes me to my assignment for the day. Make a copy of this and then complete it and submit it. So everything is done in her class based on this front page, and she utilizes all pages. Cool. She also has her learning goals down at the bottom. But she is using the Google Meets. She's using a lot of the linking pages that we talked about last time. If I click on this, it's probably going to take me to another assignment with the instructions and links to those assignments. So to show you how she does this, she also has really cute banners. And really, you can find banners and buttons and layouts all over the place. In Commons, down here, I'll show you that in a little bit. There are a bunch of templates. You can also find templates on Facebook groups and the internet. They're all over. But I'm going to go to Canvas, and just a reminder, you can go to sbcsc.instructure.com, or you can go to your Google, your 9.waffle, and you can scroll down to find Canvas, and it will also take you there. It's going to have you sign in. Maybe one day. And then there's your Canvas, right? All of your courses. So remember, my course that I've been playing in is down here in the unpublished so that people cannot see it. When I want people to see it, I will make sure I click that publish button so that they can then see my course. So in order to start using pages, I'm going to click on pages on the left-hand side. And I'm going to click on new page. And I'm going to call this weekly agenda. And I'm going to call it what is this week, you guys? 2-1 to 2-5. So Nancy has really pretty buttons and banners, right? When I was a teacher, this is what mine looked like. I'm not kidding. This is all I did. I went to insert, table, and I had 2 columns, and I had maybe like a 1 at the beginning, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Great. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, oops, Friday, right? And I probably made these colorful. I'm sure I colored them or bolded them or something along those lines. And again, like if you hover over that middle line, you can pull this all the way over because there's no need for it to be all in the middle. And then I would put the agenda. So we usually started with a bell ringer. And then we may have read novel. Theme discussion. I'm literally just making this up as I go. And exit ticket. Okay, that's what mine would look like. And then I would do the same thing. Bell ringer, quiz, project. Right, and it's what it would be every time. Bell ringer, grammar, project. Please don't judge me on what I am putting in here. This is probably not what my class would have looked like, but it's there. Discussion, project. Bell ringer, share projects, exit ticket. Okay, probably what mine looked like, right? Pretty easy. I would make sure that I have this only teachers. I don't want anybody else messing with this page. And then I can add things to this, right? So I can say for the exit ticket, remember I believe I made a quiz last week. So you can link, if I click or I highlight exit ticket and I click on this little arrow next to the link, I can say course links. And then it's going to show me everything I have. So I click the arrow next to quizzes, check for understanding, click it, and it links right for me. Awesome, right? Under pages, I have that lesson 1-on-1-1 brainstorming. So I want that to be our bell ringer for Monday. I want them to work on. What is this? Get this out of here. This old table guy. He's a mess. He's really annoying. So you guys, okay, we'll just do that for now. You highlight it, click whichever one you want, and it does it for you. It links it for you. So then I'm gonna exit out of that. I'm gonna click save and publish because remember, students can only see it if you publish it, okay? And again, this is organizing your class using pages. This is one option. There are other options. So here is my front page. Here is what my students would see. All right, yes, it is not nearly as pretty as Nancy's. It's okay. Not a big deal. It does not have to look as beautiful. It can, it doesn't have to. Another thing that I realized that I forgot in a lovely virtual world is a Google Meet, right? So to click edit, and let's say I meet with my students live on Tuesdays. Okay. In order to link something that's not in your course, you highlight it and you do the same thing. You go to the link in the little arrow, external links, and then you can link your Google Meet there. I do not have one currently, but you can link anything there. Mozilla is always my go-to because it's quick to type, but I would link my Google Meet link, my Google Classroom Google Meet link, right? I would link that there, and then it would take them directly to the Google Meet, just like Nancy's did when I clicked her Google Meet button. So this is what my students would see. Okay, this is using Pages as your organization. Cool, great. How do I make this my front page? Because if I go to home right now, this is what my students see, right? This is not what I want them to see. This is not the page I just made. Remember, these glasses up here is your student view. So if I click on that, when my students go to my page, they see the module. That's not what I want. I want them to see that daily agenda first and foremost. So here's what you do. You go back to that page, weekly agenda 2.1 or 2125. These three little dots over here, click it, use as front page. Okay, now it's going to have that. I'm then going to go back to the home. And over here, it says choose home page. I'm going to click it. And I'm going to click the one that says pages front page. And you can see that it currently has weekly agenda 2125. I'm going to click save. And now this is what my students see first. This is my front page. This is my I like to call it like my magic carpet, right? This is the landing page. This is where the students come first every morning. And I taught my students that. Yes, I would have something on the board, usually a bell ringer of some sort, but they always knew to go to Canvas, and Canvas had everything they needed. So it's just like that, the reading rug, or, you know, the one that the littles always run to, sit down and have their morning meeting. So that is how pages can be your organization, how you run your Canvas. So if you noticed, when I clicked choose homepage, there are all these options. My homepage could be the activity stream. I've never seen that done before. I don't really encourage it. It's literally just like, it would say, Mrs. Wassner posted an assignment. Mrs. Wassner posted a page. Mrs. Wassner did this. Not very helpful, not very organized for students. I just showed you how to do pages as a front page. The next we're going to talk about is course modules and how that can be your homepage. The assignments list doesn't really seem like a good homepage because they don't really see any of the other links. They don't really see content pages or anything like that. They literally, I'll save and show you. They literally see a list of assignments. And if you don't have due dates, or, you know, if you don't have anything to tell them when they do each assignment, it's just going to be a long list of things. Another option would be your syllabus. And I don't have a syllabus in here, but if you wanted to have the first thing they look at be your syllabus, you can do that as well. So right now we're going to keep it on pages front page because that's what we just talked about. Any questions on pages as a front page? So again, how I did it is in the slideshow, right? So after publishing your page, how I made it the use as front page, and then how I chose my home page. That's all in the slideshow in case you forget that. Forget how I did that. It is in here. But this is one way. Pages as your organization. Questions on pages as your organization. Just a reminder, if you're just hopping on, you can always go back and watch what you missed right here on YouTube. All right, I'll give it one more second because I know comments are delayed. Perfect. So the next way that you can organize your classroom is through modules. And Elizabeth Davidson at Jefferson uses modules. So remember earlier I said that like some teachers are already switching. Beth has done that, Miss Davidson. She started with pages and her pages were super cute, and I can show you that. So her pages were similar to Nancy's, but a little different. But now she's trying modules to see which fits best for her classroom, her way of teaching, etc. So she's doing both. So again, if you click the picture, it will not take you here, but it's there. So this is the first thing Miss Davidson's students see. Okay, As you can see, it says Wednesday because that's today. So she is super organized in this. When I took the picture, if you look at it, oh, it does say Wednesday, so she must have had it ready to go. But she changes that every day. So Wednesday, she has a link for a makeup form. And then she has the module they're working on. She has the lessons. She has a quiz that she wants them to do. She has practice. She has boom cards, so another little check for understanding. She wants them to make sure all your boom cards are done. And she also has Khan Academy, so complete 45 minutes of Map Accelerator on Khan Academy. She also has another module on rates and proportions where it's very similar. She took into consideration Woody's session on modules and student engagement. So she does have those lessons, but she also has little checks for understandings and quizzes along the way to make sure that they know the information before moving on. So she also has modules for today. So she has a lot on here for modules, but it tells her students first and foremost what to work on. And I'm sure that she has walked her students through whether you are in the scale factor module or the rates and proportions module. She also has it today. So this is the first thing her students see, and they can go right into it, right? They can click on lessons. Oh, that must not be clickable. So scale and scale factor, they can click right onto it. And then the next positive thing about using modules is all they have to do is click that next button in the bottom right-hand corner, and it takes them to what they are supposed to do next. So in my previous district, the math department really enjoyed modules as their format, their organization of their classroom or their Canvas, because it just kind of showed exactly where students go and kind of progress them along at a mastery speed. So in order to do this, let me go to my Canvas corner, and I'm going to click on modules. And I may create a module, and I'm going to follow Miss Davidson's lead and say Wednesday. I'm going to add that module. Remember, I want this to be the first thing they see. So I'm going to drag it using these three little dots. You can, shucks. Okay, click the three little dots and click Move Module. And then it's going to ask you where you want to put it. And I'm going to put it at the top. So Wednesday is the first thing they're going to see. And then I'm going to add, that external URL because I want to remind them that we have a Google Meet today. So Google Meet today, yay. And again, I would put that Google Classroom, Google Meet link in here, but I don't really have one right now, so we're just gonna pretend. I'm gonna click Add Item. So remember, right now, nobody can see these. I have to make sure these are green in order for students to see them. Okay, so the first thing I want them to remember for Wednesday is Google Meet today. So they have that. And then I want them to be able to go through the research paper. You know, I might realize that, oh, this agenda doesn't really belong down here. I actually want that up in my Wednesday as well. There we go. So now that's up there as well. So now students know for Wednesday, they have their Google Meet today, they have their agenda they can click on, and then they can scroll down and get to work on their research paper or whatever is in the agenda for that day. Any questions? And again, remember we talked last time, student engagement, to make sure that they are actually looking at things. You can click on the three dots and click Edit and add in those requirements. So with their research paper, I want to make sure they mark their brainstorming as done so that they're not just like clicking on it and clicking away. They actually read it. And I want them to score at least a 3 on their check for understanding. And so then if they don't score a 3, Canvas won't let them move on. And also Canvas will not let them complete the check for understanding if they don't mark their brainstorm lesson as done. So I can go back to my home page, just like I did with Pages. And I want to choose home page. And I'm going to click on course modules. And then I'm going to click save. And again, it's going to change it. And remember, if I ever want to see my student view, I can click on those glasses in the upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to click on that. And now this is the organization that my students will learn and know. They will know that the first thing they see will be an agenda. And if we have a Google Meet, the link. And then the modules underneath are what they are supposed to be working on today, this week, etc. Yes, Mr. Bennett, I will. Yeah, I'll talk about that. So, any questions on utilizing Pages as your class organization or using modules as your class organization? Do you have a preference? Do you like one over the other right now? Like you're ready to start playing and deciding which one is best? So getting students to transition, one thing I wouldn't do is transition right now. I would actually probably, continue playing and building Canvas and then transitioning them maybe at the quarter break, moving into fourth quarter. Or, you can always wait until next year, right? Keep playing with Canvas all this year and fine tuning what you like and don't like, and then start using Canvas full-time next year. One thing to help with students is that down here in the help button, you can find search the Canvas guides. And it's going to take you to these awesome guides. And I actually link a couple later. And you can click on Canvas. And then you can click on student guide. I know it's a few clicks, I'm sorry. But these are a bunch of different student guides on how to help students transition or how to get them used to Canvas. I recognize, and we are very mindful as a district, that having students transition to a completely new system is difficult being virtual. So that is why we haven't necessarily, mandated Canvas. And I don't really have an answer for you, Ms. Benkowski, about if it will be, mandated, because, we have the two right now and they can work side by side. So, so these Canvas guides are really helpful, these Canvas student guides, and you can go based on what you want, an introduction, what do you want to teach them about assignments, etc. And then you can share these with students. Another thing that I really recommend about transitioning is Canvas allows for Google integration. So you as a teacher can bring all of your already created Google stuff into Canvas, and students can still grab stuff from Google into Canvas. So I think that makes the transition easier. I know that Canvas does have a few bugs with it right now, so that's why I'm saying maybe don't transition them currently. Let Canvas work out their couple of bugs. But if I am, and I showed this last time, and also the Canvas, this one about Canvas plus Google together is an awesome way of how Google integrates into Canvas so that students have a seamless transition from Google Classroom to Canvas. Anyways, in this brainstorming. I'm going to click it and I'm going to click edit. I think I did this last week, so I think it's already there. But so yeah, as you can see, of course, this is not a top, like this isn't an assignment on brainstorming, but you know. So this is a Google Doc, right? I pulled this directly from my Google Drive, and it looks identical to what the students would see in Google Classroom. There is also options, and Woody talks about them in that Google session. You can do anything that you can in Google Classroom in Canvas. So you can make it view only, any of your Google Drive stuff. You can make it collaboration, so everybody's typing at once. And you can make a copy for each student, just like Google Classroom lets you. So there are some very similar things. What I think is most important when you transition students is, if they're used to going to Google Classroom and they have some teachers using Google Classroom and some using Canvas, put your Canvas link on your Google Classroom. I know it's an extra click for them, but at least they're still going to the same space. Some benefits to Canvas and using Canvas is that it's auto-rostered, right? It syncs with PowerSchool, so it's auto-rostered every semester. It's also synced with PowerSchool, so your grades every night, when you choose to sync them, they will sync. So your grade book syncs with Canvas. Those are my two favorites, and I'm going to share you my third favorite bonus about Canvas in just a few minutes. I don't know if those were suggestions, Mr. Bennett, or if those sufficed. I think the most important is making it as easy as possible for students. So whether that be a link to your Canvas, and then just how you organize it. Modules looks like Google Classroom. So maybe start with modules so that it doesn't necessarily look a lot different than Google Classroom does. Maybe you start, because again, this looks like Google Classroom. Or if you like the Pages idea, maybe that's where it becomes easier and you just directly link them so that they know exactly what to click on throughout the day. Yes, Miss Churchill. Yes, we did ask for that earlier in the year for early adopters of Canvas to put the link in Google Classroom so that students will go to Canvas. Yeah, I think it's an awesome idea, and I know that it's an extra click for students, but at this time, they're so used to Google Classroom, and they have a lot of teachers who use Google Classroom, and then maybe just a couple who use Canvas. So that extra click is not too much of a big deal, I don't think. So yes, Mr. Bennett, Savvis is a thorn in my side usually. So yes, Miss Newhouse, all Canvas corners are on YouTube, so you can watch week 1, week 2, week 3. Also, the slides in the comments below or in the description below takes you to this slide deck. And these are all the slides that we've gone over as a Canvas corner. So and I know that they show that little eyeball, but you can still see them when you're in here. It just doesn't show when I'm in present mode. So it shows everything we have been through with Canvas. And that's kind of one of the reasons, is so that if you just hop on one week and you're like, whoa, hold on, I'm not there yet, you can go back and watch another one. Yes, I agree, Miss Ned, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce names. I do my best, but I agree, and that's one of the reasons Dr. Cummings and the district has chosen to stick with, encouraging Google Classroom. However, back in May, we did offer that Canvas training, and there was a majority good portion of teachers who completed the training and had spent the summer building Canvas. So the district also decided it wasn't necessarily a good idea to pull that back. So, which is why we offered Miss Churchill's option of using Google Classroom just as an extra click to get you to Canvas so that students are still going to the same place. So Okay, so any other questions on pages or modules as your organization? Again, every way is the right way. It's what's best for you and your students. And as I stated, Miss Davidson has already switched. She used some really great pages at the beginning, and now she's using modules. So another thing I do want to show you before I get to the last part is this Commons button over here. If you click on Commons, it is just a massive catalog, curated resources that people are sharing. I mean, they're completely free. You'll see some that are featured or from, you know, Mr. Modlin or myself for professional learning. But I know when I moved to 11th grade English, I didn't know how to teach the Constitution. So I can type in here, Constitution. And there's all of these, they tell you what grade level it's for, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. If you look at an 8th grade one and you're teaching high school, maybe it still works for you. There's all these quizzes or modules on what to do and activities to do for Constitution Day. It tells you if it's a quiz or an assignment or an entire module. Awesome stuff, right? Pages, everything's here for you. If I decide I want to use one, let's say I want this quick quiz. You can click on it and you can view it. Do not get hung up on the questions and whatnot, because obviously like this is all in Spanish. So my students may not be able to read it. So you can always edit things. Okay, but let's say I like all of these questions except for maybe a couple. You can import, and then you choose the one that you want it to go to. So I'm going to choose Canvas Corner, and I'm going to import into course. And it's just going to go for me. You successfully started your import. There it is. I'll show you in a second what it comes out as. So, however, you can also look up templates. You can look up a homepage template. You can look up course templates. There's a newspaper template if you want your page to look like a newspaper. Class template. I mean, there's just a ton of things in here. And you can probably type in home pages and things will come up as well. If anybody is watching who has used this and knows some secret terms to put in here, throw them in the chat for us. But as you can see, you know, like homepage 8, if I wanted to use this homepage, I can throw it in there. So all options, things that you can look through, completely free. So if I go back to my dashboard and I go back to Canvas Corner, I just want to show you what it looks like when you import something from Canvas Corner. So I go back to my course. And I did a quiz, right? Yeah, so I did a quiz. And there's my quiz. It's ready to go. I can link it. I can put it into a module, whatever. But maybe I don't like all of them, right? So I can click it and I can edit. And I know we haven't gone over quizzes yet, so I'm gonna go very briefly through this, and then we'll talk about quizzes later. But I can go to questions and I can change anything. I can delete the question altogether. Yep, I want to delete the question. Or maybe I want to edit the question because I believe that the correct answer is 4, not 2. I don't even know what this says, but you know, the correct answer is probably 4. So I'm going to update it and it's ready to go. I'm always going to click save. But that's how Commons works. You import it into your course, it's ready to go, but you can still edit it always. I'm going to go back to my home page just to save us. Miss Newhouse, yeah, so those Canvas student guides are really beneficial for those teachers who do want to start moving over. And we have offered Brown Center Student Services, Taylor Williams, Chase and I have spent twice a month, morning and night, at Brown Center, offering technology assistance and support to parents. Whatever they want to learn, right? They can come in and say Google Classroom. They can come in and say PowerSchool. They can come in and say Canvas. And we're there for an hour, hour and a half in the morning and the afternoon. So, yeah. Oh, so we have not focused support on Canvas because some of our teachers use it and some don't, but that's a good idea. Miss Singleton, you can? That's cool. I haven't really played with quizzes much because we haven't gotten to it for Canvas Corner. It's in the next couple weeks, but come back, Miss Singleton, and teach us about that. So the last thing I want to talk about, and I'm not gonna show anything because it is a doozy. One of my favorite things about Canvas is that you can cross-list your courses. So what cross-listing means is that if I teach 7th grade English 5 times a day, right now in your Canvas, it has 5 different squares because PowerSchool pulls 5 different rosters. All right, but let's say all 5 of my classes are doing the same thing, right? And yes, effective teaching, we differentiate. All classes don't have to begin and stop at the same point, right? I know, but for the most part, they all have the same curriculum. Canvas allows you to cross-list them, which means you can put all 5 or 3 or 2, whatever, courses into one so that you can only create things one time. I provide you video instructions and I provide you written instructions on this. So this is the video if you want to watch the video. And this is the written instructions if you want the click by click. Okay, so as you can see, the example is combining 3 different biology classes into one so that this teacher then does not have to create the same assignment 3 different times. Everything is in one. You create in one, you grade in one, everything is done in one. This was one of my favorite things about Canvas as a teacher. So it does not mess with PowerSchool. It does not mess with your auto rostering. It's just a lifesaver sometimes. But I am not going to go over it because it takes a minute. Yes, Miss Churchill, this is what I've done so that all of my students can interact with each other. Yes. Fantastic. Yep, so Miss Singleton, the School Corp, rosters it for you, but we don't cross-list for you. So if you have 3 sections of math, the same math, you would need to cross-list unless all 3 of your sections are the same in PowerSchool because we pull PowerSchool. So, but it takes a minute. So just if you need help, just let me know. But these directions are pretty they are click by click. So it's one of my favorite things about Canvas is that I could create one assignment and let all my 9th graders take it. And like Miss Churchill said, it allows my students to cross collaborate, whether it be on an attendance question or even a group project or a discussion or any of those kind of things as well. So it was awesome. It was a good time. Oh. Cool. Interesting. All right. Any questions? I value your time. And these are supposed to be bite-sized. So I want to provide bite-sized information and then allow you time to play and figure things out and figure out what's best for you. So again, today we talked organization. We talked know always are the right way, how to make pages your organization in your classroom, how to make modules, and how to set that home page, whether it be a front page or modules, or any other option they give you. Just modules and pages are my favorites. I think they're the best. We also talked cross-listing. It's there for you as a bonus if you want to dive into it. Lisa also talks about it in her sessions. Next week, we're going to talk discussions, talking about how the best way to use discussions. We might throw in quizzes in there, maybe a little bit. We'll see how long it is. We'll see. But next week, we're going to talk discussions. I'm here for the next couple minutes just to answer any last minute questions you may have regarding Canvas. Otherwise, I hope you guys all have a great day. I hope you have a great rest of the week. I hope you stay warm because it's going to get very cold, the weather tells me. And I hope we calm down with snow. I hope this next round is not as big. Have a great week. I hope to see you next time. Bye.